This particular issue goes beyond my personal story, which I'm going to share with you now, what happened.
All right.
Because it has just opened my eyes in a different way to just a critical nature of a psychological and sociological problem that we have in this country right now that I can't figure out how to fix it and what the solution is. I kind of go back to this. If I told you that there was no Donald Trump, there was no Joe Biden, it was just the U.S. government. If I told you the U.S. government was going to deport criminals living here illegally, you'd be like, yeah, that's a good idea, right? Everybody would. The left, the right, the middle, the top, the down, everybody would say that. If I told you we're going to secure the border too, yeah, sure, that's a great idea. We're going to audit spending. We're going to prosecute corruption. We're going to eliminate political correctness and wokeness. We're going to make the country healthy, RFK. We're going to create parity in tariffs and trade deals. It's going to be even, like when no more is taking advantage of us. We're going to reduce the deficit. We're going to do all these things. We're going to bring manufacturing back. We're going to clean up bias in federal agencies. We're going to protect women and not have men in the locker room anymore. We're going to have energy independence. We're going to bring peace to the Middle East and Ukraine. We're going to fund those affected by the hurricanes. We're going to finally do that for everybody. We're going to do all of these things. Military recruitment is going to be way up. If I told you all these things, and there was no Donald Trump, and there was no Joe Biden, there was no left or right, everybody would be like, yeah, it's fantastic. Well, that's not the case. You know, I had a situation here. I was canceled by people I've known for a very long time. A group of very close friends, too. They happen to be on the left coast, so maybe a little affected by some of the manipulation of news and media. But I was literally canceled. When I say canceled, I was uninvited to a major event because Trump won the election. And I spoke about it on social media. I got a phone call from a very close friend of mine who called me a racist a few years ago because I supported Donald Trump. I saw him riding my bicycle in Santa Monica. And he said, yeah, we can't be friends. You're racist. I'm like, what are you talking about? We eventually talked it out. We hugged it out. And we were like, that was stupid. But I got canceled. He called me to talk about the canceling. And as much as I was sort of upset and hurt about this, and I think most of us on the right who might be making comments on Facebook or on social media, and I know there's a lot of people watch the show because I see you on there sharing your thoughts with my misery in this types of things. We all are going through this. Delgado's been canceled. All of us has had an issue with somebody. But for this particular time and this particular group and people that you know really well, it just pushed me back to there's a major sociological and psychological problem in this country. People have been brainwashed to an extent that it's damaging just basic personal relationships. And what I see happening is beyond just sort of Vin maybe being a little, bummed out about what happened or someone else being bummed out. It's beyond that. It's more about how quickly can a country decay and be polarized. When you think about World War II and the Nazis and the Germans, and I went to Auschwitz, I studied in Germany for a year, I studied the entire World War II scenario and also what happened in Germany. And I could not come to grips as to how the German people and how all of these people went along with this. And I have to say, what happened to me here getting canceled opened my eyes to, I could see how that happened. This is a small microcosm. We're not killing people, but this is a similar thing. They have been convinced. They have been brainwashed. They feel that they're right, I'm wrong. I was even told if I changed my morals and I changed my values in not liking Trump, I can be their friend again.
Oh, that's awesome.
Can you imagine that? That one comment to me ultimately put me over the edge because I just said that is probably the most hypocritical thing I've ever heard in my life. And we're only talking about opinions. These are words.
Now, quick question. How old are these?
That's a great question because it's extraordinarily relevant here. These are not kids.
I was going to say, because what you're describing is it sounds like the lunchroom in middle school.
These are 60-year-old men that should know better, that are teaching their children things.
They're men?
These are,
men.
They're men. They identify as men.
All right.
They're 60 years old. These are people that have lived life. They're mature. I have a lot in common with these people. We shared some of the greatest memories in the world. At least for me, I shared some great stuff with these folks. And that's why this might be personal to me, but it's not. This is an epidemic in this country. Everybody should have an awareness of this because this is just the tip of the iceberg. Really bad stuff can happen when manipulation and brainwashing, like we've seen, like they obviously have gotten. And I'm not, maybe I'm wrong. And I tell them that all the time. I don't know if I'm right. I don't know if I'm wrong. This is my opinion.
Yeah, but friends should accept you. I mean, we're getting like kindergarten here. You're supposed to accept everybody as friends and put everything else aside. And to tell a friend to change your morals is very.
But that is part of the point is that we should, right? That should be regular human nature. We grew up that way, and most people have done that. You forgive, you stick by your friends. Something bigger than that has happened psychologically. That's where I'm coming from.
It's getting deep.
You're friends with mean girls, basically.
It's not just me.
You're friends with people who unfortunately who live an ideology that believe that if you're succeeding or something, the country's succeeding or the leader is succeeding or the leader is doing something that's positive, it must be at the expense of somebody else. So they look at this, Vin, and they say, you're supporting someone who, because of him, our people are not succeeding, or everything is at the expense of somebody. Everybody's in a box. Everybody's in a group. So they can't just look at you as their friend. They look at you as a part of this conglomerate that is holding their acquaintances down.
Yeah, part of it. Part of the evil empire. And I've gone through in my mind over and over, like, oh, maybe they're just not good friends, and maybe this and maybe that. And I have come to the conclusion that we started this show in 2014-15. Mm-hmm. And that's when this major wave, it actually happened when Obama was in office, of information sort of manipulation. And it went in overdrive in 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, boom, on and on and on. Overdrive. And when you look at that information exploitation that happened, and it happened on the news and social media, we saw all the stuff where the social media giants were manipulating information. And then the COVID thing brought that out even bigger. But you put all that in one big bucket. And then you say, what happened to your friends? Why did they turn on you like that? And it's almost like they've been programmed. And people have been programmed. And that's my bigger point. It's not about me and my feelings and my hurt are there. It's about, wow, how is this possible with people that are smart, that you know really well? Because really bad things can happen if they use these same techniques. Case in point, what happened in Germany. You could take that leap because that's what happened.
What's crazy, though, is that they expect you to change your morals. Like they're morally superior. You're not good enough. But if you just change your morals, guess what? Now that should tell you everything you need to know about their morals.
That's everything.
That they are so interchangeable. It's kind of
the judgmental side, though.
Yeah, you might need some new friends there.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have them anymore.
I got plenty of friends, but the thing is quite disturbing. It set me off from a societal point of view, and I wanted to share that with the audience because, one, I know a lot of audience folks saw this exchange, and I also know that everybody experiences this in some way, shape, or form on social media. If you're a supporter of Trump, if you're a supporter of Biden and Obama, no one says boo. Have you defriended anybody that's on the other side?
No, I like to watch them melt down.
It's just not what we do, though. We're not judgmental like that. They may not agree. Okay.
Yeah, big whoop.
That's the disease I see happening here. And it's a disease. So that's it. That's my rant for right now.
Yeah.
All right, very good. It's a good rant, Vinnie. I'm sorry you went through that, but like Delgado says, maybe someone in the Sergeant Arby said, why don't you send them a box of tampons and tell them to just move on? I mean, come on. So, there's that too. You could
feel that way. This just happened.
Just happened.
This just happened like a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.